what's out there. Just don't be scared.
Okay, a week into the latest Mossad Psyops shooter insurgency drill with this Matthew Frein in Pennsylvania. Someone's going to shoot some officers and leave all the evidence in the world in their car 2 miles away instead of just taking off afterwards. So now we got everything locked down and we're making everybody stay in their homes, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look at the media spin.
This morning, police finally putting a name and face to the elusive suspect in a now days-long manhunt. 31-year-old Matthew Frein, wanted for killing a cop, and police fear it could get worse.
He has made statements about wanting to kill law enforcement officers and also to commit mass acts of murder.
Police say the Pennsylvania man is responsible for a brazen attack Friday night right in front of State Police Barracks, firing 4 shots in 90 seconds, killing 38-year-old Corporal Brian Dixon, a husband and father of 2, and seriously injuring 31-year-old Trooper Alex Douglas.
We're now in a position to apprehend this individual.
Officials say they were tipped off by a local resident walking his dog who saw a partially submerged vehicle in the woods near the barracks. That Jeep registered to Frein's father. Inside, police say they found Frein's ID, military gear, camouflage face paint, various information concerning foreign embassies, empty rifle cases, and shell casings matching evidence found at the scene.
This was not something he kept quiet.
Police say he has a grievance against state police, has survivalist training, and could be anywhere. They say Frein's father, a retired U.S. Army major, told them 2 of his guns were missing from his home. One of them, a rifle with a scope, and another, an AK-47. He also told police that he trained his son to shoot so well that he, quote, doesn't miss.
Police say what surprises them most is that for years, Frein told people about his plan to kill law enforcement officers, and no one ever bothered to report it. Corporal Dixon's funeral is scheduled for tomorrow.
So he's the son of an army major, like that's someone who's going to go cop killing and go on a mass shooting spree, right? And then notice how she says nobody ever took him seriously. Again, like everything else, they want to get us for pre-crime. If you say something, they're going to come and grab you.
Anderson, and you recall 2 years ago the Christopher Dorner case in Los Angeles, the LA police officer who was fired and then killed multiple people, family members of the police, and ambushed 2 Riverside police officers. He abandoned his car in the mountainous wooded area in San Bernardino County, and they thought this guy has fled the area. He could be in Mexico within a day or 2, and it turns out when he's located a week later, he's within a few hundred yards of the police barracks in that particular, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's. The big fear you have in a case like this is a person's going to need shelter. They're going to need food, water, and transportation if he plans on getting out of the area. And the best way for him to do that is to do a home invasion. So the public that have residential homes in the area or cabins or shacks, they're vulnerable to that, of this guy coming into their home, taking them hostage, possibly killing them, and taking their vehicles. And the statement that he's just after law enforcement, the other statements of that he has general hatred sounds like for everybody, and that makes him as dangerous to the public as he is to the police.
This idiot is contradicting himself all over the place. If he were a survivalist, he wouldn't need to break into your home to steal your stuff. He wouldn't need to steal your car because he had a car, but of course he ditched it in the water so it could be found with a whole bunch of evidence saying, I did it.
So talking about, in general, committing mass murder, that's got to be kind of the worst possible scenario.
That's right. I mean, this is a man who does not necessarily have one target in mind, but the world at large can be that which he inflicts his vendetta against. He's made it clear. He's made these kinds of statements, and I think you have to take those seriously. And we don't know the specifics of if there's a certain law enforcement agency this particular guy has vendetta against. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he has a thirst for blood of any sort and a lot of anger and animosity that he's seeking to inflict upon the world, a need to prove himself, is likely here. And you know, the fact that he's departed to the woods in that area apparently means that anybody in that vicinity needs to be extremely cautious.
Police are going to have to go door to door, and they're going to have to keep one other thing in mind. The FBI had a case in 2010 involving the Hootery militia in Michigan, where their intent was to kill one police officer and ambush hundreds who attended the police funeral parade later.
And now to the manhunt for that trained killer on the run, accused of ambushing police in Pennsylvania. Some residents scared to leave their homes this morning as police uncover new clues in the search for Eric Frein, who's believed to be hiding somewhere in the woods. ABC's Lindsay Janis joins us now with some of that new evidence. Lindsay, good morning.
It was another night of intense police activity, with officials now saying they believe they are hot on Frein's trail. Overnight, police revealing new evidence from their search for fugitive Eric Frein, finding a Kalashnikov-style rifle and 2 AK-47 clips in the dense forest near where Frein allegedly shot 2 state troopers. Police say they have not yet seen the 31-year-old self-described survivalist, but hundreds of officers are chasing every possible lead.
Caller reporting she heard 6 gunshots across the street in the woods from the residence. Roman Kamensky used to perform military reenactments with Frein. He says his old friend may be thinking like a soldier at war.
And if he wants to kill more cops, he's probably waiting for them to walk into his kill box.
Police reiterating Sunday their belief that Frein isn't after civilians.
His fight is with law enforcement.
And that is part of the reason why police lifted their shelter-in-place ban for thousands of residents, allowing them to move freely again, but asking them to remain extremely vigilant.
31-year-old Eric Matthew Frein.
David Berkowitz, Ted Bundy, Richard Speck.
What about them?
Serial killers. Serial killers only have 2 names. You ever notice that? But lone gunman assassins, they always have 3 names. John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald, Mark David Chapman.
John Hinckley. He shot Reagan. He only has 2 names.
Yeah, but he only just shot Reagan. Reagan didn't die. If Reagan had died, I'm pretty sure we probably would all know what John Hinckley's middle name was.
But of course, it all ended the moment that John Hinckley shot Ronald Reagan.
I only want to open up your eyes to what's out there.